Okay, so let's try to see what are the different common problems that we will face while building this agentic AI. But before we go there, all the different code snippets that I've been using throughout the tutorial, throughout the playlist, you can find them on my website. If you go into my website and go to courses and click on agents, you will come to this section. So from the very first section where I give you an introduction to agentic AI, to building your first agent, memory, tools, connecting tools to agent, context wrapper, multiple agents, all these different things have been covered in different pages here. Okay. Finally, we have the common problems. The very first problem that you'll face is agent will respond before handing off, forgetting to delegate. So what exactly is this agent response before handoff? In the previous example, we have seen that I have a separate agent for my work and a separate agent for image generation. So if I ask a simple question like, what are my recent emails? My main agent will sometimes respond saying that, okay, let me transfer your request to the work agent. And the response will be finished. So role is assistant and response will be completed. The actual handoff will not take place. The transfer to work agent function will not be called at all. So my main agent is assuming that it is transferring to X agent, but in reality, it is not doing it. It is simply responding back to me saying that, okay, I will transfer, but it is not doing the transfer. This is a very common situation that you'll face. How can we avoid this? First thing is you need to be very precise in your prompt, in your system instructions, saying that do not respond to the user if you have to hand off. Do a silent handoff. Hand it over directly to the respective agent. Do not respond anything to the user. Do not give any confirmation or anything. Something like this. It has to be very clearly written in the prompt instructions, the system instructions of the agent. Okay. Next is the agent instructions outperform system instructions. In the messages list, in the tutorials, we have not included any role system content and instructions, but you can in the messages, instead of starting off with an empty list, you can add a role of system instructions also. What advantage will you get with that? This messages list is going to be sent to every agent. Irrespective of which agent is handling your request, they will be able to see the system instructions. So if you have anything which is common across all of your agents, then you have to put them in the system instructions. And the agent instructions, they're very simple, right? Depending upon the agent, you will write respective instructions. If it is a coding agent, you will give instructions on how to write the code. If it is a document writing agent, you will give instructions on document writing, etc., etc. But if you have something common, for example, if you want the tone to be funny, if you don't want to use any emojis, or if you want it to give you very short responses, or even the structure as well, if you want headings, bullet points, etc., these are going to be common points that every agent has to follow. So you will write them in the system instructions. These are the two different things that you have to keep in mind: agent instructions and system instructions, how to use and where to use which one. Next, we have the agent calls the tools that it is not attached. So let's take the traveling agent as we have seen previously. Suppose I've asked 30 times, what is the weather in Paris? What is the weather in Tokyo? What is the weather in London? What is the weather in India? What is the weather in Mumbai, etc., etc. I've asked it 30 times, and every time I ask this question, the LLM model, sorry, the agent is calling the tool. Now, what happens is next time when I'm asking any uh, random question, it will try to call the tool once again. Or let's say the main agent, it does not have the tools. It doesn't have the get weather tool attached, but still it will try to call the tool. In the output, you have seen function calling, right? So it will try to call the tool, which will throw us an error message because it is not attached. This is a very common problem that you will face. To handle this situation, again, the solution is very simple. The respective agent should call its own tools. Other agents cannot call the tools of some other agent. My main agent, it might have tools, it might not have tools, and my first agent will have n number of tools, second agent will have n number of tools. First one should not call the tools of second one should not call the tools of third one, etc., etc. Each agent has to deal with its own tool capabilities. So to handle this, again, in the prompt instructions, we can define it very clearly for what situations should we hand over to which agent. And just one more additional line indicating which tools are available for respective agent. Only the tool name is more than enough, because it can see in the memory list, it can see the tool name which was used. So it will understand that, okay, this tool was used, and we can send it back to the same agent. This is one way. The second and the most effective way is what we previously did in the past. If I go to my get weather, here if you see, I told you that I will come back to this later on, right? So the agent is travel agent, and we are returning that in the tool output. Because the agent name is present in the tool output, this will reduce your chances of different agent calling a different tool, because every tool output will have the respective agent which is responsible for calling that tool. When you have this in the output, then definitely your orchestrator agent will always hand it over to a different agent instead of calling the tool by itself. So this is a different thing that you have to keep in mind. These are some of the most common problems that you'll face when you are building a agent orchestration. Okay, so with that, we have completed all the fundamentals about building different AI agents. If you have made it this far into the playlist, then thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.